there's nothing like cracking that cellophane and pulling that record out. It just smells great.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Non-stop hardcore energy.
I love the show, guys. You're awesome.
Unlike any other.
With your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bod Father.
Man, this stuff rocks.
Hey, this is Kayhan from Yautja, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guests do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I am your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bod Father, and as always, I'm bringing you guys and gals awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a huge privilege to welcome Kayhan. He's the bassist and vocals of Yautja. Nashville underground trio Yautja has made their Relapse Records debut with their highly anticipated new album, The Lurch, which is out now. Also, check out singles Tethered and The Spectacle, which is out now, so you want to give this band a chance and listen to them. So, Kayhan, how are you doing, man, and welcome to the show.
Hey, man, thanks for having me on. I'm doing good. I just got off work and pulling into my apartment complex right now.
How excited are you to hopefully get back out on the road and do some touring and do some local shows to get this music out there, man?
I've been doing good, man. I've just been working a lot and, working, like the album just came out, so I've been doing, press stuff and talking to people. And, yeah, we're getting ready to start rehearsing for shows and tours and stuff like that. I think the first thing we have coming up is in August, so we got a couple months to get ready for that. But we're definitely ready to play live again and play this record and share it with people.
Kayhan, did you find yourself doing anything differently other than working on music, such as collecting or catching up on anything that you might have been lacking on possibly?
Well, yeah, I started trying to exercise and get a workout routine going. That's easier to do when there's less stuff going on in the world. Caught up on some TV shows and movies and played a lot of guitar and played some video games. And I worked a lot too. I didn't really stop working during all of this over the past year or so. So I've kept myself busy and enjoyed time at home for sure. Obviously it was bittersweet, but I did enjoy laying low for a year or so.
This is the Relapse Records debut for the band. How does it feel to be signed with Relapse Records, coming from the underground scene, man?
It feels amazing, man. Yeah, we're super thrilled with it. Couldn't ask for a better label for, metal and anything heavy and weird. It's definitely a change for us, coming from the DIY world, smaller labels and stuff like that, being on a bigger label. But, yeah, we're super happy with it and, stoked that we have a label to help get our music out to more people and get it all over the world. So, yeah, we're super happy with it.
What about for the ones who say, oh, you should have stayed in the underground scene, man? That's where it's at. You do it yourself. What do you say to those people who kind of take that negative route? And I'm excited for you guys because anybody would take that opportunity, I would think, in my own opinion.
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, there's, ups and downs to signing to a bigger label. But, I mean, anyone who's going to put money into your band and put out a release for you and, enable you to get your friend to do cool artwork for the cover and do all kinds of crazy colors on the vinyl and then distribute your record across, the U.S. and across the world. I mean, you kind of be foolish not to do that. We're definitely, we definitely still have one foot in the DIY world doing a lot of stuff on our own. Like we made our first music video for this album ever. We've never made a music video before, but we did that ourselves and with a couple friends. And same for the third music video we did. And, we'll probably continue booking a lot of our own shows or with our agent, who's just one of our friends. But we definitely still exist in that world. I help run a DIY venue here in Birmingham where I live. And I'll continue to book shows and volunteer there. And, we play in other bands too that are definitely still completely in the DIY world. So, there will always be haters who will say you sold out or, why God, you guys do this or that. But I think as long as it's helping us create art and music still, then we're totally down for it.
Yeah, and I think that it comes back full circle, exactly what you just said. You know, you're still doing stuff for other bands that are underground and doing it yourself. And so for me, like I just said, you know, it comes back around full circle. So you're still doing what you're doing for those bands to help them.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. And I mean, I'm sure when we do our first headlining tour, we'll probably bring a couple of bands that we like or that are friends with us that are, you know, DIY bands. So,
sure.
Yeah, it just enables you to kind of do more. I mean, it's not like selling your soul how it was, you know, 20 or 30 years ago. It's just kind of enabling you to do more of what you've been doing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The horror stories from back in the day. Writing this new album, The Lurch, did it challenge you as a band because of COVID, bringing the album to life? Were these songs that had been previously written, or all these brand new songs?
Well, it's funny because we've gotten asked that a lot, and we actually got lucky in that we recorded this right before everything shut down at the beginning of last year. So, you know, writing and recording weren't really impeded by COVID or the pandemic, but it definitely slowed down the rest of the process. You know, mixing and mastering was slower, and getting the artwork together, and all the elements to actually get the release going. I think everyone kind of went on autopilot mode for a little bit just because, you know, nothing was going on. But yeah, as far as the songs, like some were written within the year leading up to us recording, and some had been full songs or even just riffs or parts for a good couple of years before. You know, just this is the first bigger thing we've done in a minute. You know, we've spent time touring a lot and playing in other bands, and, you know, work and family stuff gets in the way. But yeah, it was written over several years really, and we got super lucky to get in there and record right before everything shut down.
Oh, to you guys, but new to us. And I'm sure you guys are like, man, finally we get this damn thing out there and be done.
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah. I mean, by the time a record comes out for a band, those songs are already old, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
To the band, at least, to the band. But we're already working on some new stuff too. So hopefully the next thing will not take us long, and we'll have some fresh stuff for people in the next year or so.
Would you say this album is a musical hybrid of metal, punk, and rock? Would you say it's all blended in?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, we listen to all kinds of music, and we grew up on all kinds of music, and we even play all types of stuff now. So yeah, it's definitely a blend of everything weird and heavy that we like. You know, there's a little death metal in there, there's hardcore punk in there, there's noise rock, grinds, there's more doomier parts. I think it's a good mixture of stuff without being too all over the place. It all seems kind of cohesive and blends together, and not like a weird way. You know, it's not like one part of a song will be this and then the next part will be that, and you'll kind of be scratching your head like, why did they do that? I think it's all kind of seamless. Yeah, it's a good mixture of stuff.
So as a band, were you guys a little nervous releasing this album right now, since bands can't really tour or do anything other than like live stream stuff right now?
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely that thought. You know, it was a huge bummer to be done recording at the end of January last year, and then in your mind you've got all these big plans like, hey, we're going to put this out, you know, hopefully in the summertime, and then we'll probably tour pretty hard for the next year or so on the record. But I think the consensus eventually was like, we just need to put this out because we want to share new music with people, and we don't want to sit on this. And, you know, bands on our level, you know, we've sold, the record has done okay so far, but going on tour is where you really sell records, and that's where bands on our level like actually make money, or not really make money, but recoup money, is on tour. So it is a bummer, but I think we've kind of accepted it for now, and you know, it's looking like starting at this summer things are going to start picking up and hopefully be consistent. So we're really looking forward to getting out there and sharing the record with everybody.
It's kind of like a blessing in disguise. I mean, for bands with the pandemic right now, and I don't mean it in a negative way of the pandemic. I'm just saying for bands to get stuff out there, because they can take full advantage of this, especially like the ones, like you said, the DIYs. get your stuff out there and be heard more now because of COVID. I think this is actually a chip in your corner, actually, to help you guys do this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, like, there's been the creative output in every, not even just music. There's so many people just sitting home and, with technology and stuff now, you can record yourself and film yourself and all that. So, yeah, I mean, that has been the weird upside to this, is that people have had time to hone their craft and write songs and start new bands and record records. And, yeah, I mean, that's definitely the upside to it for sure. What's
impressed Kayhan or excited you the most about making the new album, if anything? What sticks out the most about it for you?
For me, I just think it's the best thing we've done. We recorded with a different engineer and producer, and not that I'm not completely happy with the records previous to this, but I think he captured how we sound live a little bit better. And I think these songs are our strongest songs. I think it's, they're not too different than our previous material, but I think we've kind of honed in a little bit more on stuff. And yeah, I'm super proud of it, man. I think it's the best thing we've done so far. I feel like the pressure's on now to try to compete with it or top it. And I'm super thrilled with the artwork too. Our friend Brandon Gertz did the artwork, and we've worked with him before on stuff, but we just gave him the lyrics and the music and told him just go to town. And he painted something crazy and awesome for us.
Any tracks standing out more to you than any right now on the album? I know it's changed every time that you listen to it, and I know these are your babies, but are there any that stick out for you possibly?
I would say the last track, it's called Before the Fall. That was like the last song that was written, and we were even kind of tweaking it in the studio too. That one stands out right now in my brain, just because that might be a sign of what's to come for us, more of the path we're going down. But yeah, that's the newest song to me, so that's one I'm excited about right now on the record.
Was there a song that you guys were working on that totally ended up sounding different than it was intended to, or maybe took a total change?
Yeah, there's a song called Catastrophic on there that changed a little bit. Scott Evans, who recorded us, he had a little bit of input on that one, of like the structure of it and maybe do this beat on this part instead of this and make this part longer. That one changed. And then we had a couple songs that are not on the full length that just seemed like, once we were putting the lyrics and vocals to it, it kind of changed the song some, because we all do vocals while we play. So in the studio, when we're recording stuff and writing stuff, we have to be conscious of, hey, yeah, we can play this musically, but can we play this and do vocals too? So that's always a challenge when you're actually putting something to tape. Hey, can we play this live when it comes time to do that?
Now, you mentioned Scott Evans recorded this album. Working with him, though, did he get something out of you guys that maybe somebody else might not have gotten if you worked with anybody else, maybe, possibly?
Yeah, I think so, man. I think he was crucial to getting this record done, in the time that we had, and kind of pushing us. Like, we are a very indecisive band and hard at making decisions, and he definitely stepped into that role of, producer in the way that he was like, nah, that was great, that was a good take. I don't know how y'all want it to sound in your head, but to me, that sounds perfect. He was a great motivator to keep us going and kept morale high and kind of kept us on our toes and our work ethic up. So yeah, I'm super thankful that he was there to do that. There could have been someone that knew what they were doing and made it sound good, but didn't really have any other input there, kind of just documenting the music and not being involved with pushing us to get it done. So yeah, I think he was crucial to getting this record done and getting it sounding how it does.
Do you see the band still musically growing from where it started and still wanting to go outside that box and add different flavors and do your own thing and step out of that box a little bit?
Yeah, I can see it growing. I don't think we'll ever consciously sit down and say, hey, let's make this next record have electronics on it, or hey, let's do an acoustic song. I think it will naturally evolve, and I think it already has a little bit. You know, we still have our same sound, but yeah, we're never afraid to step out of the box and evolve our sound, but as long as it's natural, and it seems like it has been that way, and it probably will continue to.
Kayhan, what do you hope everyone takes away, or message you hope they hear while listening to any of Yautja's music in general? What do you hope they get from it, man?
Obviously, enjoyment is always a plus, and hopefully the notion that, you know, there really are no rules when it comes to music. And I think that's even harder to think about when it comes to metal or hardcore punk or anything heavy. You know, people always think, oh, you got to do this and that, or like we got to be this type of band. You know, we're this band, so we can't have blast beats in our songs, or we're this type of band and we can't have, you know, a groovy bass line because that's not metal or something like that. I want people to kind of just take the freedom of, you know, doing what you want. And, you know, as far as lyrical content, just making people aware of the world around you on a really small scale, and, you know, your local community and neighborhood and circle, and then, you know, on a global scale too. Just being aware of what's happening and watching out for each other.
Yeah, I ate cereal this morning. That's metal. Oh, my God. I see stuff like that, and I'm going, no, really? I ate a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. I mean, is that metal?
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you want something to be metal, it can be metal, man. There are no rules. You can eat cotton candy and it be metal. You
know, some Judas Priest playing in the background. We eat your bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich from the Mickey D's. You know, there you go.
Hell yeah, I'm more of a Whataburger guy myself, but yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let me ask you this before I forget this also. Were there any tracks that didn't make this album that we could see down the line on an EP or one-offs or a full-length, possibly, maybe?
So there is not much left. There's one track that did not make it. We actually, in January, we put out a split with this band called Chapang, and they are from Nepal. They're a grind band. So we put 2 songs on there from this recording session, and the rest went on the Lurch, and then we've got one more that might pop up on like a 1-song split or a compilation or something like that, but we don't have enough to put out an EP or anything like that. But hopefully that thing could pop up on something, even if it's just a digital thing that we can share with people.
Now, I know you had a lot of music growing up, and I know that there was a lot of songs that you dug, but was there a go-to album that you had to have, that you had that brought you back maybe once a week, every 2 weeks or something like that you just couldn't shake, man, that you always had to have it, that gave you inspiration or just let you escape for a while, man? If so, what was that album possibly? Or maybe just a song?
Let's see. Oh, man, something I go back. I mean, Black Sabbath Volume 4 is like an all-time, you know, can listen to it every day and not get tired of it, and puts me in a good mood pretty much any time. Age of Quarrel by Cro-Mags is like the ultimate hardcore punk jam album for me. Yeah, those two are definitely like long time since I was, you know, 14, 15, been in rotation.
All right, Kayhan, how can folks stay in touch with you guys, buy some merchandise, buy this new album from you guys, or just to say hello, tour dates, whatever, man? How can they do that?
So buying the album and merch, you can do it on the Relapse store, relapse.com. You can go to our Bandcamp. We've got the record and a bunch of other stuff on there. And then you'll see links to all our social, Instagram and Facebook and all that, and an email address on there if you just want to, you know, hit us up about if you have a question or just say what's up. Yeah, we're pretty easy to find on the internet.
And before I let you go, good sir, would you care to do a promo for my show?
Yeah, sure, man. Cool. Hey, this is Kayhan from Yautja, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Hour Podcast. Get out and check out our Facebook page that has our podcast link, YouTube link, and you definitely want to subscribe to our YouTube link because we got a lot of stuff that's coming up, and you definitely want to check it out. Also, get out and pick up Yautja's debut album on Relapse Records entitled The Lurch, and check them out, pick it up. You will not be disappointed, folks. Give this band a chance. So, Kayhan, I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck, my man.
Appreciate it, John. Thanks for having me on, man.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.